Hello friends, myself Yogita Dilip Jadhav, lecturer in physics, working at Kekiwak Polytechnic, Nashik. After today's session, we achieve the course outcome, estimate errors in the measurement of physical quantity. The learning objectives are: you are able to describe measurement device and its application. You are able to describe with justification the device required to measure radius of curvature of given object. You are able to state with justification the error in the measurement of quantity. You are able to describe procedure to determine dimensions of given physical quantities. In today's discussion, we focus on third objective, that is, state with justification error in the given measurement quantity. Let us see first what do you mean by error. If we consider any measurement, then result of every measurement by measuring instrument contains some uncertainty. This uncertainty is called as error. Or these are nothing but the faults or defects which occurs in the measurement of physical quantities, and these faults or defects we called as errors. There are different types of errors. The types of errors are categorized in two types: systematic errors and random errors. Systematic errors having certain causes. First cause is that instrumental errors. Second is imperfection in experimental techniques or procedure, and third one is personal errors. Second type of error, that is random errors. Let us see in depth the errors step by step. What do you mean by systematic errors? Systematic errors are those errors that tends to be in one direction. That means they are either positive or they are either negative. This figure shows one of the systematic error which occurs in the measurement of dimensions using micrometer screw gauge. If we consider micrometer screw gauge having two scales, main scale and circular scale. Here this 0 represents 0 of main scale, while this 0 represents 0 of circular scale. When the jaws of micrometer screw gauge in contact with each other, and if both the zeros are coinciding with each other, then there is no zero error. But if it is not, that means 0 of circular scale may be below of 0 of main scale, or maybe it is above the 0 of main scale. Then this is the possibility of positive or negative zero error, and such a error is called as systematic error. Now, first cause of systematic error is the instrumental error. Instrumental errors arise due to imperfect design or calibration in the measuring instrument or faulty instrument. That means these errors arise due to faulty instruments. For example, if we consider the measuring device such as vernier caliper, if we make jaws of vernier calipers together, and after joining or coinciding both jaws of vernier calipers, if we observe the position of 0 mark of vernier scale and 0 mark of main scale, if they do not coincide with each other, then that vernier caliper having error, it may be positive or may be negative depending upon the position of the zeros. Another example of instrumental error is that if pointer of ammeter do not coincide with 0 of scale in the absence of electric current, then this is faulty ammeter. In this figure, let us see. This pointer of ammeter is beyond the zero of the scale. Similarly, in second figure. That means here there is no flow of current even though the pointer is not coinciding with zero of the scale, and such type of ammeter is faulty, which gives the error in the measurement of electric current. These errors are always remains constant. Value of error is constant. Therefore, these errors are also called as constant errors. Second cause to occur the systematic error in the measurement is imperfection in experimental technique or procedure. External conditions such as change in temperature, humidity, wind velocity, etc. during the experiment may causes the systematic error. Suppose we have to determine temperature of a human body, then thermometer, this device we used. A thermometer is placed under the armpit, will give a temperature always lower than actual value of body temperature. If we measure the velocity of sound using resonance method, then that velocity may be affected by change in temperature and humidity during the performance of experiment, and that may be causes the error in the measurement of the velocity of the sound. Such type of errors are called as systematic errors, which occur due to imperfection in experimental technique and procedure. Then personal errors. This is also one cause of systematic error. These errors arise due to individual's bias, lack of proper setting of apparatus, or individual's carelessness in taking observations without observing proper precaution, etc. May be defective eyesight, may be the limitations of the persons gives the personal errors. Suppose, for example, if anyone by habit always hold his or her head a bit too far right while reading the position of needle of the scale, he or she will introduce an error due to the parallax. Another example, suppose due to defective eyesight, the instrument meter reading taken by the observation may be 41 as 47. This is due to the limitations of persons, which gives the personal errors. Random errors are randomly occurs in the measurement. Random errors are those errors which occurs irregularly and hence random with respect to sign and size. These can arise due to random and unpredictable fluctuations in the experimental conditions, such as unpredictable fluctuations in temperature, voltage supply, personal errors by observer during taking readings, etc. This gives the errors which are called as random errors. These errors still remains in the measurement even though we take all precautions. This is because we can remove the systematic error to some extent when we cannot completely remove random errors in the measurement of physical quantity. Let us see some procedures to minimize the error in the measurement of physical quantity. First is that take large magnitude of quantity which is to be measured. Now here I take one of the example of simple pendulum. Suppose we have to measure the quantity time required to complete one vibration, and this time is known as period of the pendulum. Here simple pendulum is shown. that is simple device, that is a heavy metal bar suspended from a rigid support. This is the point of suspension. If we pull this bob towards one side and release, then it starts oscillation from this initial position, which is called as mean position or equilibrium position also. If we consider the movement of this pendulum, if it starts from position B, moves to A, reaches to B, moves to C, and again reaches to B. This one set of movement is called as one vibration, and the time required for this movement is called as period. To increase the magnitude of quantity means, instead of measuring time for a single vibration, if the time for 25 vibrations is measured, that means suppose we allow the pendulum to start vibrations and we measure the time for 20 vibrations, and from that we can find the time which is required for one vibration, that is period. That means we increase the magnitude, which minimizes the error. Now, second procedure we have to adopt, that is measurement, use of instrument whose least count is as small as possible. That means we have to use the measuring instrument which having smallest least count. Suppose we have to measure the length of a small object such as top of the tabletop, that is thickness of the tabletop, for which we can use meter scale as well as vernier caliper. If we consider meter scale, then it measures the minimum value that is equal to 0.1 centimeter and it is its least count. But vernier caliper having least count 0.01 centimeter, therefore for the particular measurement, vernier caliper gives more accurate reading than the meter scale. Third procedure we have to use to minimize the error, that take large number of readings instead of a single reading and calculate its mean value or average value. Suppose values obtained in several measurements for the same physical quantity are A1, A2, A3 up to AN. Then the arithmetic mean of these values is to be calculated. This arithmetic mean of these values is taken, which is best possible value of the quantity under given conditions of measurement. That means if we add all the values and divided by the total number of readings, that gives the average value, and this average value or mean value is always close to the true value of the measurement. This is one of the procedure we have to follow for the minimization of error. Now let us see what do you mean by accuracy in the measurement. It is the measure of how close the measured value is to the true value or accurate value. If there is less error in the measurement, which gives the more accurate measurement. But sometimes we require precise measurement. Precision is the degree of exactness in the measurement. Basically, it is the limitations of the measuring instrument. Measurement precision is determined by least count of measuring instrument. Small least count, greater precision. Thank you for watching.